Hello, YouTube. I'm trying not to laugh. I was trying to clear my throat, so I figured I'd yell a little bit. Oh, the congestion you get. I think it's being trapped in the house. You're not out in the fresh air enough. Then when you get out in the fresh air and everything lets loose. We are going to make an extendable fire poker tool used for my little stoves. And we're going to use that nice handle instead of this one. Now, this is the biggest one of these I've got. I was given about 3 or 4 of these. We're going to try to get this unglued because we really hate to ruin that piece of wood. So stay tuned and we'll bring you back when it's done, and we'll just have pictures showing you what I did, to go along doing it, and then we'll have probably something else before we're done for the day. And don't ask me the date. I'm doing this early. I'm doing this on a Thursday. Okay, we're done with this project. That's all epoxied in there, and it goes into about that far. And I had to grind it out with a Dremel bit, because I didn't have a drill bit bigger than 3/8, because that's bigger than 3/8. A little bit of epoxy oozed out around in there. It's kind of indented there. But I'm going to leave it. This is soldered together. I took a picture. This is 3/32 rod. It's just welding rod or whatever rod, and that's 1/8 of it. It's soldered together. It's about 4 inches long, so inside this one, on the very bottom half, is JB weld. So I don't think it'll ever get hot enough to worry about, because it's just to poke the fire around. And the reason you have this, if you need to maybe have to drag a stick back towards you, or you get underneath it, so it has a practical use. This will poke your stuff and move around. But this helps lift it up. Now, on my one for my regular wood stove in the shop, I had like a hook to it, and I never liked it, and I straightened out. Because you say this is the stick right here. You're always reaching past to grab onto it to pull on it. Well, this you can just stick it in something, so, just kind of grab the stick. So I think this design will work better. If you look at a fire poker, they do have a hook on them. But we'll take a little break here and we'll go on to something else. Oh, this will extend from, well, that's about 1 foot. It goes to about 2 foot. So here, we'll show you here. We'll stretch it out. Well, there, 6-inch ruler down, and then we'll be right back with it stretched out. Okay, there you go. So you could stir around a small fire, but it's not that strong. It's just like a little extendable antenna. But you can find these back scratchers all over the place, and you get all that tubing. You get different size tubing for projects. So if you see one for $1 or a couple of bucks, I had 3 of them gave to me. So I make use of this stuff. Even when I was younger and as a kid, I would make hobby stuff and use that type of tubing. And another thing is stainless straws. That's a big one. I don't know how big this is. I don't think it's 3/8. It's just under 3/8. And you'll find these all over. This was given to me because the person didn't like the crooked straw. They liked the straight one. And I probably used this stuff in a project once. I'm sure these are stainless. They're supposed to be, so they better not be lying. So there you go. I said we'll take a break. We'll come back for some other little thing there before we leave today. Okay. Here's the screwdriver I had to where it was sawed off. So the only way to get the metal part out was to saw this off, pry this off of there, and heat the piece of metal up and pull it out. And I had a video on this, I just didn't like it. It was too long, rambling, so I pitched it. But I did paint this. This has several coats of clear on it. In fact, I watered it down with some thinner there, so there's 2 coats. I'd coated it all with clear, painted it with red. Then I resanded it where I got the red, so I slopped the red in there and then put another coat of clear. So it's not a bad handle for something. That's a 1/4 inch. Speaking of that, let's go back to these plates. This is just under 3/8, and this is just under 1/4 inch. So I don't know if I can get this in there or not. See, there's a lot of play in there. I do have a piece of 1/4 inch shaft, but I don't know what to do with it. Here, get in frame. I do not need any more screwdrivers. So I don't know what's going to happen with this thing. Not bad. I wasn't going to spend the time to super polish or sand it. There is big gouges in that plastic from sandpaper. You can see it. I just wanted a handle for some tool, and I can also cut this cartridge off. Some of these cartridges are pretty thick, and I always say, you know, kind of learn if you're going to cut the ends off that it's solid metal down there on the bottom where the primer is. Well, the back or whatever you want to call it. But this is pretty thick-walled stuff here, and then it gets thin-walled, so. Yeah, if you have a friend that's got any ammo, or people who go to the firing ranges, or get you some brass casings and make stuff out like I've been doing. I'm so happy I got a source for them. I've got a few left. I got a shipment sent to me last time, and I don't know where the bag is. Trying to reach for it, and it's not down there on the floor. But I got such a mess in here. I always show that. Look at the junk back in there. I throw stuff back in there to get it out of my way, and then you don't know what's in here. Oh, this is that broken handle. I put a different shank in it, but I don't know where the big shank is that was in it. This one's a lot better end. This will be mostly for a chisel pry tool, digging stuff, because it's not that great a screwdriver. I think, when I went back and looked at some pictures, I think this number on here is 1283. I thought it was a 4. I think that is 1283 if you looked at the original pictures. Yeah, that's pretty broke, ain't it? I may paint this though, and then nobody will ever know. And that was so bent and crooked, I think it bent the plastic so bad that and I didn't want to grind on it all day. If you turn this around, this is not straight at all. I'm looking for a carriage bolt. I think I'm going to make a pound-on screwdriver out of this. Then I'll have a video on it. You know, where you put the carriage bolt there and polish it, and it goes down and it hits. And even if you got a short carriage bolt, you can find any piece of metal, but start out with a small bit. If you're going to drill from this end, find the center the best you can, and start out with an 1/8 inch bit or something. Find the center bit, and just keep drilling the best you can. You've got these slots to look through it. Say your carriage bolt only went to, say your carriage bolt was only that long. We'll find you another piece of metal to stick in there. Make sure it's touching that though, so when you hit it, there's never no force on here, and you can countersink the carriage bolt in there. Neighbor is playing on the 4-wheel ATV, and I don't think there's enough snow to be that many hours, so it sounds like the thing has been just spinning continuously into donuts or something out in the yard, so he needs to come over and visit. He hasn't been over for a while. There you go. I think we're going to call it good for this week. And we're going to get out of here and go in the house. Oh, I was going to mention, I soldered these 2 pieces of metal using my new torch. And beware of these things. I let off the trigger and I kind of waved it excuse me, I kind of waved it around, and the heat went right up against my hand, and it was almost a burn, because that thing stays lit till it cools down. And another thing I found out, if you hold this trigger too long, this thing will get so hot that it'll get all hot in here. So if you can't run this continuously like you can some kind of torch with a tank, I mean, you gotta kick her on, use it. Like right now, I can tell it's starting to get warm. And see how it continues to burn. So then just go laying it down. But yeah, I've been having fun using this. Now I gotta find some butane. I was in the home supply store the other day and just forgot to go look and see if they had any. So thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. I think this might be my thumbnail picture right here.